Tonight in Las Vegas, Nevada, the sport of pickleball will reach new heights as it takes a huge leap into the new year. Welcome to the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, live on the Tennis Channel. Pickleball is booming. Pickleball is booming, skyrocketing into popularity, making it the fastest growing sport in America. And now some of the most successful and popular athletes in the world are adding their support to grow this sport. So tonight, with more teams, more stars, and more prize money, we begin a new era of Major League Pickleball. The Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino is where the Major League Pickleball 2023 draft presented by Margaritaville is taking place. And we're just minutes away from revealing where 12 of the biggest names in pickleball will be playing in the new year. And good evening, everybody. We're so thrilled to have you here live in the Santa Monica studios of the Tennis Channel. Cameron Irwin alongside pickleball pro and coach Morgan Evans. We will be joined shortly with the third member of our team. Hannah Johns is live in Las Vegas with all of our pros awaiting the reveals of this year's draft for the 2023 MLP. Now, Morgan, the MLP has taken massive steps towards 2023. There's more athletes, more events, more money, and even more team owners. What do you know about this 2023 season?
Well, I think if 2022 is anything to go by, 2023 is going to be huge. The game is booming. This new merger between MLP and the PPA has meant we now have the very best of the best about to do their thing.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the merger between the PPA as well as the MLP. There is a new stock of athletes coming into the MLP, and there are some big names. Who do you think might end up the top of the draft board?
It's very hard to go past the two juggernauts of the game, Ben Johns and Annalie Waters. I tell you, these two have done more for the game in the last few years than possibly the last 50.
There's a look at Ben Johns, and you mentioned Annalie Waters. She's just 15 years old, the #1 ranked player in the world, as well as Ben Johns in terms of the men's side of the game. So fun to watch these two. Oftentimes they are partnered up alongside one another, but we also have so much taking place with the MLP. We're preparing for 2024, so 2023, well, it's a little bit of a preparation year, right? So let's take a look at how the MLP will work in 2023. There are 12 teams in each the premier as well as the challenger levels. These will happen simultaneously. Teams will feature 2 men and 2 women. We'll have 2 seasons, each with 3 events. There'll be a championship at the conclusion of both those first 3 as well as the last 3 events. And there will be a redraft where teams' owners will get to pick new players. So there's going to be a big shovel halfway through season 1 into season 2. But the big one is highlighted at the bottom, $5 million. And here's a look at your first 12 teams.
Yeah, I am jealous of the New Jersey Fives. They get the first cab off the ranks, and I think it's going to be tough again to go past either Ben Johns or Annalie Waters in that first pick. Those two can be the difference makers. All 12 teams have a great chance though, and what I love about this system is the relegation element. I think after the end of season 1, obviously one team's going to drop down, another team's going to come up, and that's going to apply some real pressure.
So this league is not just about the athletes, it's also about the team owners, and they have made national headlines week in and week out. And one of such, actually, James Blake even mentioned just yesterday. Take a look at this. He's tuning into our coverage. We're so glad to have you joining us, James, of course, joining in here on the Tennis Channel. But he's not the only celebrity owner we have, Morgan. We have a full slate of them. Let's take a look and see who we have with the MLP in 2023. These are just the first 12. Reminder, the Challenger Draft will be coming up next week. But look at the names. Are you kidding me? The King is in the house. LeBron James. You also have Kevin Love, Draymond Green. There's a couple guys that know how to shoot some hoops. James Blake is right there, as well as Travis Redmeyer. Well, we might see him potentially on a team. He's also a team owner, Florida Smash. And then Gary Vee. He's got that top spot right now for the New Jersey Fives in terms of the #1 overall pick.
Gary Vee, yeah, he's the guy I'm looking at. Travis Redmeyer, I think he'll be doing double duty. He'll be hopefully playing well for his team, but one of the owners of Florida Smash. Very exciting things coming up.
Without a doubt. Again, these are just the first 12. There'll be an additional 12 into the next challenger level. But right now, we also have some special guests, and the third member of our crew, Hannah Johns, is live in Las Vegas with a special guest.
Well, Kim Clijsters is no stranger to the work on the tennis court, but she's here on a pickleball court today alongside Caitlin Kerr, your co-owner. Kim, talk about why now is the time to get into pickleball. What is so cool about this sport?
I fell in love with the sport 2 years ago when I moved from Europe to New Jersey, to the States. Caitlin actually introduced me to the sport, and I fell in love with it. I was able to watch the sport from up close on the Pro Tour for the MLP Tour in Ohio, and loved it even more. So super excited to be part of a team, yeah, excited to share it with some great team owners.
So Caitlin, we have you to thank for bringing Kim into the sport. Thank you for that. But I want to talk about being a team owner. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with that. You have to draft well. You have to study these players. You have to analyze these matchups. Talk about the work that you have put in.
Yeah, so pickleball has truly been a passion of mine for the last 2 years. So it was sort of a continuous flow of going to pro tournaments, watching how players interact on and off the court, studying some film, looking at their stats. I also was interviewing some players on Pickleball Chick, my social channel. So it's just sort of been easy and a flow. Our team, Las Vegas Night Owls, truly wants to elevate the sport to an elite league in the United States.
Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the draft. Can't wait to see your teams.
Former #1 in the world, Kim Clijsters, in the tennis world. She won 4 majors, but here is a look at your season for 2023. There's actually 2 of them. I mean, double trouble. Why not, Morgan Evans?
Exactly right. After the first 3, we will have a little bit of a change-up, that relegation system whereby one team from the Premier level will drop down into the Challenger level and vice versa. So I think that's going to add some serious excitement to that last matchup.
That Challenger level is going to be so fun to watch as teams are fighting to get into that top spot. Coming up after the break, though, we will have our MLP Commissioner Brooks Wiley with the #1 overall pick. We'll be right back after this. The 2 entertainment capitals in the world collide this evening for the 2023 MLP Draft presented by Margaritaville, Las Vegas and Los Angeles. We are just moments away from that #1 pick being revealed. So let's take a look at our draft order. The New Jersey Fives are up first. Frisco Clean Cause will be last in round #1. That will reverse, of course, into round #2. Well, we are just so excited, as I know that so many of those athletes right now in Mandalay Bay are as well. What might be some of the emotions maybe going through their head preparing for 2023?
Well, AJ Kohler has already lost at the crap stable, so he's probably nowhere to be seen. But I tell you, these first 12 athletes are jumping out of their seats to find out where they're going and which team they're going to be with.
All right, well, I think we've made you wait long enough, and I hope AJ didn't lose too much money, because the good news is he can earn it back on the MLP. $5 million up for grabs this season. Let's go, though, to the #1 overall pick. Who will it be?
With the first pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the New Jersey Fives select Leigh Waters from Delray Beach, Florida.
And here is a look at the 15-year-old, soon-to-be 16-year-old pickleball prodigy. That's exactly right. She is a prodigy. Started at the age of 12 at the professional ranks. Just astounding play.
Yeah, look, she brings everything to the table except maybe a driver's license. She's so good everywhere on the court. There is no weakness in this young lady. And what I love so much about her game is she can play equally well on the left and the right side. That two-handed backhand in the middle has changed the game.
Well, and she has changed the game. Age 15 years old, the #1 women's ranked player in the world. Again, making that pro debut at just 12 years old. And I know Hannah Johns is soon to chat with her. We are so thrilled to see what this 15-year-old has to say about being #1.
Well, Leigh Waters, the teenage phenom, here with me now. Leigh, what were your emotions when you got that phone call naming you as the #1 pick of this draft?
Yeah, I was so excited. Honestly, I was here in Vegas. It was super loud. I got the phone call and I was like, wait, what did you say? Like, are you sure? I was super excited. I'm super excited to be a part of the Fives as well. And it's just an amazing feeling to be picked #1 overall, both man and woman.
Well, I want to talk about the format that MLP brings to the table. It's so cool. They've got that singles dream breaker. They've got the rally scoring. How does that change the outcome of these matches?
Yeah, it definitely does. Hopefully I don't get in a dream breaker, but if I do, I'm super excited. I know the energy is going to be amazing, and I love playing singles, so I'm just super pumped to see what this season has to bring.
Congratulations, Anna-Leigh Waters.
Well, I'm glad that she brings up the versatility needed to be able to play in the MLP, because it's women's doubles, it's men's doubles, it's mixed, as well as she mentioned the Dream Breaker, which comes down to a tiebreaker and a singles competition. Anna-Leigh can do all of those.
All of those, and she does it better than anyone else. That's the big thing. It's not like there isn't just a no chink in the armor situation here. She is the very best of the best in all three disciplines. I think she actually wants to go down to the Dream Breaker.
I think she does too, because she gets to compete against a few fellas. I think that that would definitely be on Anna-Leigh's radar. But one more question, because in terms of her style, she has been an innovator, just like her partner on the PPA Tour, Ben Johns. What does she bring in terms of the aggressive style of play?
Yeah, she has become a complete player. When she first started out, yes, there was a lot of banging, a lot of staying back off the kitchen line and really looking to grip it and rip it at every turn. But now she has learnt the soft game so beautifully, and when she hits that nice rolling two-handed backhand, it keeps every man and woman honest on that left side.
Well, we're going to keep honest to the time as well, because it's time for the number 2 overall pick. Back to Vegas.
With the second pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Seattle Pioneers take Ben Johns from Austin, Texas.
Ben Johns, a true innovator of the game. He has experimented, he has crafted and shaped this sport like no one else.
Yeah, and not just that, he has crafted and shaped his own pickleball paddles. The material engineer has really changed the game. We've talked about that a lot. He is the GOAT. There's no one out there who can compete in the three disciplines quite like him. And I think just like Anna-Leigh, he's going to look forward to some of those dream breakers, we call them.
Just 23 years old, 6'1", but one of the best foundations in the game. And take a look at that, the number 1 men's rated player. 50 Pro Triple Crowns. I mean, that's an astonishing number. But I think it's time that we head to Ben Johns' sister, Hannah Johns.
Well, I'm here with Ben Johns, already a legend in the sport. I want to talk about what makes the MLP format so much fun.
I think it's just an incredible experience for all the players. We're out there in doubles, often together with a partner, but the team format really lends a lot of chemistry and excitement. I think the fans get really into it. And I know the players get really into it, supporting each other. So it's just so fun to be on like a team where you can all just have like a more of an experience than just a normal tournament. So it's an amazing format, and really looking forward to playing it this year.
Well, Ben, you captained your team to victory in the first ever MLP event 1 year ago. Do you think you can emulate that experience this time around in 2023?
No question. I'm definitely confident going into this next year. There's a lot of great teams, of course, but I'm really happy with our prospects and our team. So Seattle's going to take it home, I think.
Are you about to tell me part of your teammates here?
No comments yet, but no, I'm definitely looking forward to the team we're going to have.
All right, we're going to have to wait till the end of tonight to see who you selected in that draft. Congratulations, Ben.
Well, I'm glad that she mentioned the first ever event in 2021 for the MLP. It was a victory by Ben Johns' team, which was the BLQK, now called Black Bears, the California Black Bears, but now he's playing for the Seattle Pioneers, so we'll find out if they can get it done. But is there even a weakness in Ben Johns' game? Because he looks comfortable and controlled at any given moment on the pickleball court.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find a weakness. He moves so well around the court. He doesn't play on the right-hand side too often, so the only chink may be if he has another player on his side that potentially really wants the left side, and that could be tricky, but I don't think so.
I'm just going to say I'm never going to bet against Ben Johns, but let's get to the number 3 overall pick in this year's draft.
With the third pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, ATX Pickleballers select J.W. Johnson from Boynton Beach, Florida.
J.W. Johnson, now with the ATX Pickleballers, became the youngest player in pickleball history to win a men's singles title just at the age of 19. My goodness, he had 47 medals in 2022 alone. There's a look at the big smile from J.W. Johnson. He comes from quite a family of pro pickleballers.
He really does. He and his sister Georgia Johnson, they rule the roost from the APP Tour. And I think if there's one man who is closing in on the GOAT, Ben Johns, it is J.W. Johnson. Some of the fastest hands in the game. I think there's a few people in that conversation, but for me, the first step laterally and the quickness his hands have become, there's nothing like it. It's amazing.
Deadly hands from the 20-year-old. Right now, he's standing by with Hannah Johnson.
That's right, JW. Cool, calm, and collected on the court and off. JW, talk about what you felt when you got that call and you were able to start drafting your team.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited. I really love the MLP, love the format, love the energy. The crowd gets into it, the players really do, and it's a fun experience.
Well, you're known for your persona on the court to be very calm. You hardly ever yell on the court. You actually told me you don't want to make noise on the court. You prefer to stay in that cool mindset. Does that have to change when you go into something like a team event where your team needs you on the sidelines cheering really loud?
A little bit, but usually I just let the team do their yelling. As past experiences, they certainly do, so I don't have to do too much yelling.
All right, J-Dub, can't wait to see what you do in next year's MLP. Congratulations.
So J.W. Johnson comes in as the number 3 pick, but there's the number 1, Anna Leigh Waters, in this year's 2023 draft. We'll be back with more picks after this. The Mandalay Resort and Casino is the home to 2023's MLP draft presented by Margaritaville. You just saw Allegiant Stadium in the background. This is all lights for this year's draft. Take a look at our first 3 picks. Anna Leigh Waters, Ben Johns, J.W. Johnson. The New York Hustlers are up next. Well, let's get to it again. I'm Cameron Irwin, Morgan Evans, and we have just finished up our first 3 picks. The real question is, who might be coming in at number 4? Let's find out right now. We'll send it back to Vegas.
With the 4th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the New York Hustlers select Anna Bright from Boca Raton, Florida.
A huge jump for Anna Bright. Just an incredible talent. She has been phenomenal in just 1 year as a professional. I'm pretty sure it took her less days to become a professional pickleball player than it did for her to hike the Pacific Coast Trail. 113 days. There's a look at Anna Bright right there picking up her jersey. But she's a force to be reckoned with, a standout player from Cal Berkeley in terms of tennis. But my goodness, has she taken the pickleball world by storm.
She really has, from where she was just 6 months ago. Watching her play then, watching her play now. Yeah, I think if you didn't know her game, you'd think, wow, it looks similar, but she has got the nuance of the touch game down packed. She's always had fantastic power, but the kind of teamwork she's doing with everybody now, it's phenomenal to see her grow so quickly. And I think she's really hunting young Anna Leigh Waters. A lot of the movements, a lot of the patterns you see Anna Leigh Waters doing on the court, you see them in Anna Bright. And it's can't wait to see her in MLP 2023.
Some of the greatest grit and competitive spirit comes from Anna Bright. Right now, she's standing by with Hannah Johns.
Anna Bright, one of the fiercest, most fiery competitors on tour. Anna Bright, when you got that call letting you know that you've been drafted by the New York Hustlers, owned by LeBron James and other owners, what were your emotions?
Oh, words can't describe. I was so stoked. I think that I got on the team that everyone wanted to be on. No offense to all the other owners, but I was so happy. I was like, oh my God. Like that meme, like LeBron James, like that's how I felt. So I was so stoked and really excited for the rest of my team to be announced as well. We've got a great squad, and I'm so excited for everything that the New York Hustlers are going to bring to Major League Pickleball and to pickleball as a whole.
Well, in terms of experience, you are one of the few out here, actually the only one who's been in the sport the least amount of time. What does it mean to you to be drafted 4th overall and the 2nd female, perhaps making you the 2nd best female in the world?
Oh, that's so kind, but so honored. I'm so thankful. It's been such a really, really crazy ride. You know, the first MLP event in June was so much fun. It was my favorite event throughout the course of the year, and to be drafted so high was such an honor. I really didn't know what to expect, but I'm really excited for this year and what Major League Pickleball is going to bring. I think it's going to be just an excellent and amazing experience for everyone.
Congratulations, Anna Bright.
The future is surely bright for Anna Bright. And I know that's a bad pun, but at the same time, it's the honest to goodness truth. She's played 1 year and her game has just exploded.
Yeah, I watched her recently in the Orlando event, and I saw a woman who had the potential to really take over. Obviously, Anna Leigh Waters is at the top at the moment, but Anna Bright is on her way with the kind of intensity that you need and the nerves of steel when it comes down to the stretch and those tight third games are happening. I haven't seen her blink.
Yeah, she brings a ton of weapons to the table. I think consistently about her two-handed backhand roll and what she can do in terms of the dink. I mean, she is a force to be reckoned with. But there's also something to be said about the grit, the energy she brings. She's never out of the game.
No, never. And I think when you think of it from the eyes of the opponent, when you see that kind of intensity in someone's eyes, it's really difficult to firstly think you can match it, if not go above. It's incredible. So what she's done already is amazing, and I think 2023 is going to be another standout year for her.
Well, a major step for Anna Bright, picked 4th overall. But it's time to go back to Vegas with the MLP Commissioner Brooks Wiley for number 5.
With the 5th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Los Angeles Mad Drops select Catherine Parenteau from Naples, Florida.
The Los Angeles Mad Drops with an incredible pick right here. Catherine Parenteau is just so dynamic.
She really did. She went first round in the inaugural event, and she deserves certainly to be in this number 5 spot. A staple at the top of the game for over half a decade now. The kind of things she's done in both singles, mixed and women's doubles are really second to none. Her style is absolutely gorgeous. When you watch her hit these forehand third shot drops, I tell you, be still my beating heart.
Well, apparently that's something we're going to have to pay attention to in 2023, but I believe Catherine Parenteau is standing by with Hannah Johns.
Here with Catherine Parenteau, one of the sweetest smiles in the sport of pickleball. Catherine, you're on a team whose ownership group includes Drew Brees. How cool is it to see these athletes making their way into pickleball and leaving their stamp on the sport?
It's amazing. I mean, I used to watch Drew Brees play football, and now that I got a phone call from him on Monday, it was incredible, and I'm just super fortunate to be here and looking forward for next season.
Well, you're certainly not used to it having played on the tour all year long, but rally scoring is a hot button topic in MLP. How is that going to play out on the court, and do you like it?
I actually liked it. We've been practicing today a little bit for the upcoming weekend. We're going to be playing a lot with the rally scoring, and I actually like it. It's a little bit different, but I think it will bring a lot of awareness to the sport, and I think people will enjoy it.
Congratulations, Catherine.
Drew Brees has been awfully busy, also making headlines today. A big congrats to him, the interim assistant over at Purdue, his alma mater. But he's also making phone calls for his team. You got to love the involvement from these owners. And Catherine Parenteau is an incredible steal to have on your team.
For sure, and I love that hands-on approach. Everyone knows that this team atmosphere really requires everybody to get involved, and Catherine Parenteau is that kind of team player. She can play left side and right side. I think she's equally suited to all the disciplines, and I think it's a fantastic pick for them.
She's got 5 majors to her name, 16 PPA titles as well. You mentioned she can play both sides of the court, but she's also somebody that spends a ton of time on her game, not just in terms of her contact, but also her physicality, something that she really focused on this past year.
Yeah, for sure. She has a full entourage, physical trainers, people working on the mental game, a coach, her partner, Athena. They're all working together as a team. So I think this format really suits her well.
Yeah, she's a definite team player. But let's head to our next pick in Las Vegas. Who will it be?
With the 6th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the SoCal Hard Eights select Riley Newman from Phoenix, Arizona.
And it's in. The Hard Eights select Riley Newman out of Washington, Whidbey Island, actually, all the way up north. But take a look at that. I mean, this guy is outrageous, has a very unique style to his game.
Yeah, some people are saying that his men's doubles can compete with that of Ben Johns. And his mixed doubles, the mixed doubles national champion already, I tell you, it is hard to imagine a team that can't do well with this man. He is a huge presence on the court, tall, very, very fast. More importantly, he makes great decisions, and he is the best defender in the game.
Well, let's head to Hannah Johns now with Riley Newman to hear what he has to say about being number 6.
Riley Newman, the man with the hands of gold, is here with me now. Riley, you're known as one of the most analytical players in the sport, and you certainly need that when it comes to those team dynamics and the strategy on the sidelines. How confident are you that you can lead your team to victory?
Well, I'm really looking forward to MLP. I took last year off, and I'm just ecstatic. I'm pumped. I'm going to get super analytical. I'm going to be X's and O's, just like what I did in basketball, break it down, but really fortunate. So I just want to say thank you to Tim Parks for drafting me. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, Riley, unfortunately, you're only able to make 2 of the 3 events in season 1, but you still drafted incredibly high, even with that fact. What are you going to do to make sure you're still out there leading your team to victory and establishing that leadership?
Yeah, I have booked a trip to Australia, so I'm teaching pickleball, and I want to really grow the game. I want to take this global, and so that's why I didn't want to back out on my plans to Australia. But when I come back to the States, you better believe I'm going to be coming with some fire, some intensity. I'm going to bring it. So hard 8s, you better be ready.
Thanks, Riley. Congratulations.
Well, I'm so glad that he mentioned that he's actually going to be missing that first event. He was very upfront about what he was going to have to miss before this draft even took place, letting team owners know ahead of time, hey, I'm not going to be able to play in that first one. And it's interesting. It actually caused a little bit of a trade because who was supposed to be at that number 6 spot was actually the California Black Bears. And so they switched all of their picks. All of them, which is wild. And so they ended up at the 10 spot, and all of a sudden we see the hard 8s coming in at number 6. Seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, seems like a good deal to me. And I think it speaks a lot to the quality of his play that he still goes number 6, and he will miss 1/3 of the first season in 2023. An incredible player, and what he brings, the kind of fire. And I think how he's going to be able to help guide the team as well. He knows so much about the sport, and that's a huge aspect.
Yes, he absolutely does. You know what I'm excited to see is a little bit of singles from none other than Riley Newman. What is he going to do out there on the singles court? The former tennis as well as basketball players. But here is a look at our MLP draft. This is 2023, getting ready for an epic new year.
The MLP draft is sponsored in part by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Under the neon lights of Las Vegas, this is the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft presented by Margaritaville. Playing host is Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. We are so thrilled as we have found out now who our top 6 picks are for this year. We just named Anna Bright, Catherine Parento, as well as Riley Newman. Cabo Vamos is up next with number 7. So I'm going to send it back to MLP Commissioner Brooks Riley.
With the 7th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, Cabo Vamos select Jay DeVilliers from Paris, France.
And here is a look at Jay DeVilliers at number 7, the Frenchman coming up clutch.
The Flying Frenchman. He's become a bit of a heartthrob, and his game has come along so well. He partnered up a lot with Tyson McGuffin this year, and I tell you, watching them take down the Johns brothers at the Nationals, I started to really appreciate how much work Jay DeVilliers has put into his game, the footwork especially. And he's another one of those players that doesn't discriminate. He plays men's, mixed, and singles at the very highest level.
A fantastic college tennis player in his own right, but he's also standing by right now with Hannah Johns. Let's hear from Jay.
Well, Jay DeVilliers, also known as the Flying Frenchman, here with me. Jay, more than 100 players were contacted and told to set aside time in case they were called and drafted in the top 12. Did you expect to get that call?
No, not really. I was just prepared just in case. My phone was there. I was actually holding my baby at that time, my 2-month-old, and then my phone rang up, and my wife was like, pick it up, and so it was very exciting.
Thank gosh for your wife. Well, thanks to the MLP PPA merger, we're about to see the best of the best compete against each other next year. How cool is that for the sport?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's great. Just seeing everyone, and the matchups are going to be a huge deal. So can't wait to see all the teams coming up now.
Thanks, Jay. Congratulations.
Well, Jay DeVilliers' birthday is also just 3 days away, and as his birthday present, World Cup Finals. Why not? France is in it, right?
Yeah, they have a real chance, almost as much as he has a chance to win this Major League Pickleball Championship. Watching him, as I said, develop in the game has been fantastic. He has some of the shots you'll never see. It's the kind of around the back he's done it. He's done it so many times now. He's starting to make that his signature move. He has soft hands. He knows when to be able to use them. He also is able to counterpunch better than almost anyone on the tour. So it makes him very unattackable for anyone in front of him.
Well, you talk about attacking, and you also mentioned the footwork that he's really progressed on. I mean, where are some of those areas that maybe that footwork you've seen progress and show up in his game?
Yeah, I mean, just the raw agility, his defensive capability. He's always been a fantastic attacker. He's a big man, lots of power, but a couple of years ago, the work he was doing in transition wasn't quite up to snuff. I've seen him use that footwork and really put in the work to make sure his transition game and his ability just to drop the ball back delicately, make good decisions, get back up to the kitchen line, and then do the attacking. That's the big part of his game that's impressed me.
Well, let's find out who is going to impress us now with the 8th overall pick. What is the name?
With the 8th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Florida Smash select Jesse Irvin from Cary, North Carolina.
Jesse Irvin is the number 8 overall pick for this year's draft. And you see the space buns on her head, but she is the queen of consistency.
She really is. And ATPs. No one does the around the post shot like Jesse Irvin. One of the big things about her is, yes, she stays very, very solid and consistent in those cross-court forehand-to-forehand dink rallies, but she has the kind of power that is unheard of. The two-handed backhand, she hits it harder than not just the women, but most of the guys. It's phenomenal. She reaches forward, is able to flick a lot of balls out of the air, and her wrist strength alone can really change the dynamic of a game.
So you have consistency plus power in Jesse Irvin. Here she is now.
Jesse Irvin, the queen of consistency, here with me. Jesse, one of your team owners, Travis Rettenmeyer, he also plays pro pickleball. Does that make a difference when you have somebody on your side who's able to help you with that drafting process?
No, I think it's a lot of fun. I got the call from him personally, and I'm super excited to be on the team. And I think having him, you know, kind of give us some insight, especially coming from tennis, I think that just adds another element, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Jesse, you're one of 3 in the top 12 picks who don't play singles generally on tour. Can we expect a few surprises if we go to some singles dream breakers out of you?
Oh, I'm going to start training, for sure. I'm going to start training some singles. I'm going to put in the work. I'm not going to let down my team. You know, I got some good ground strokes in there, so I'm going to work on the coming forward and the transition, and I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm going to bring some singles in there.
I love it. Can't wait to watch what you'll do on the court. Congratulations, Jesse.
Jesse was a former tennis player, and now she actually turned a little bit into a tennis coach after graduation. I believe she went to UCLA, so now all of a sudden we maybe have to see her in some singles competition. She looked pretty excited for it, though.
She did, and I've seen her on the singles court. It's not quite as good as her women's doubles and her mixed, but I trust her when she says that she's going to be training, and she's got a lot of good people around her to help her with that.
Yes, and you mentioned where she's training. She trains out of Los Angeles, the courts of Piccadilly, and she's welcoming to everyone that shows up. She'll play with everyone, including myself, even though I'm not very great. But Jesse, thank you. I'm just one of the greatest spirits in the game. And, you know, she brings so much also on that left side. I've seen multiple times. She has this backhand punch roll thing she does that is just quite incredible. I mean, how do you start to combine all of these shots to create the most complete pickleball player?
Well, look, it takes time. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. When she first started, she lent on her power game almost exclusively, and she really did very well with it. But she recognized that she needed to become a complete player. But the one thing she's got above almost every other female is that ability to reach forward and flick some of these attacks. Jay DeVilliers, the previous pick, he has something very similar. We typically see them alongside each other. This time, not so much.
No, they will be on opposing sides of the net. Let's find out who might be on the opposing side yet again. Here is the next draft pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Las Vegas Night Owls select Vivian David from Dripping Springs, Texas.
The Las Vegas Night Owls select Vivian David. My goodness, we talk about great spirit in Jesse. Well, great spirit also in Vivian, one of the kindest and happiest pickleball players, but she's also a complete warrior on the court.
Yeah, an absolute sweetheart. What she lacks in stature, she's not the tallest player out there. She gets so low, she's able to reach forward and take so many balls out of the kitchen, similar to a taller player. but defensively, that's where she really comes into her own. Her ability to move around the court, especially in that transition zone we talked about there, is almost unparalleled. It's fantastic. She's really starting to take the gloves off as well. I think her attacks are coming along, and she's an asset to every team. She's one of those wonderful team players that I think her team's going to be very happy to have her.
And I'm not sure who built this graphic, but I'm loving the last line. Sleeps with one eye open. Vivian David, she is a warrior, and right now she's waiting to chat with us.
Well, Vivian David, the girl who smiles both on and off the court. Vivian, how does it feel to be standing here knowing that your ownership group includes Kim Clijsters, Tom Brady, athletes from great other sports, but they're here today for pickleball?
It's so exciting. Tom Brady is an awesome athlete. Obviously, I did not grow up watching football, but Kim Clijsters was actually my idol growing up. So to have her as a team owner is absolutely amazing. And when I heard that she bought into a team, I was like, how amazing would it be if I was part of that team? And here it is.
Well, you're one of the few who've been participating in MLP since the very first event. Do you think that gives you an advantage going into this year?
I think so, for sure. I mean, honestly, the team atmosphere, the team play is just something that I've never been part of a team sport, so the MLP is just something that I really love, and I think just the energy, the teammates playing for each other, and then the team owners having them on the sidelines is just amazing, and I'm just super thrilled to be a part of it.
Congratulations, Vivian.
And Vivian brings up a fantastic point. This is a different type of format with MLP compared to potentially other tours. It's a team dynamic, and Vivian is someone you always want on your team.
For sure, no, and she understands that better than anybody. I think how well she treats her partners, how well she is able to play very complementary pickleball, take direction and also give direction. You know, she's an experienced player now, and I think that's really going to play into her team's success.
Well, earlier you mentioned the defensive play from Vivian David, but one of the things I feel like makes her somewhat unique is her mobility, right? Her ability to drop down, squat low, especially at that kitchen line, and play some incredible defense. I mean, where else could that show up in her game, and why is that so incredibly important in pickleball?
Yeah, for me, watching her, my hips hurt. It's phenomenal how well she hinges, drops down, and it's not like she's giving up any mobility. She has this acute ability to be in a very mobile posture, move around fantastically well, and pick that one moment where she has to drop down, get long and lean, take those balls out of the air, and do something very impressive with it.
Well, Vivian David coming in at the number 9 spot, now playing for someone she looked up to her whole life. Kim Clijsters right there in Las Vegas. We'll be back with more after this. The 2023 MLP Draft is happening right now, and it's presented by Margaritaville. It's taking place at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, as well as from Los Angeles here at Tennis Channel. Now, Jay DeVilliers, Jesse Irvin, and Vivian David were our last 3 picks, but we have 3 more picks to go in round number 1. California Black Bears are up next. Brooks Wiley with the pick.
With the 10th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the California Black Bears select Andrea Koop from Grand Haven, Michigan.
Andrea Koop coming in at the number 10 spot. And I spoke with team owner Richie Tuzon, and he said, man, she is undervalued and an absolute steal. He is so thrilled to have her on his team.
Yeah, one of the most experienced players on the tour. She's not just a powerhouse. She offers so much wisdom to her team. I think it's a fantastic pick for them. She's moving very well these days. Her cross-court dink, she can stay in that rally for so long, and that in itself is a massive asset.
Well, she's also a lawyer, so if you ever need any legal help, you can find none other than Andrea Koop. Right now, she is with Hannah Johns.
Well, welcome back to the court. Andrea Koop here with me, as you're known by when you're on the court competing in MLP. Andrea, talk about how you come from college tennis. And this is actually an atmosphere in MLP that's somewhat similar to that. Does that help you on court?
You know, I never thought I would miss my college tennis experience, but when I played MLP, it reminded me of it. I love the format. I love playing for the team. I'm super excited to play with my new teammates. My teammates last year, I had a lot of fun, and I can't wait for the format again.
Well, your team's owner, Richie Toison, has been the winner of 3 of the last 4 MLP events. You're back on that winning team. How helpful is it to have an owner that's so involved and analytical like Richie?
I love Richie. I got to have the privilege of playing for him in the first MLP, and he became a really good friend of mine. He encouraged me to play more pickleball, and I'm privileged and super excited to play for him again. And yeah, he was super involved in the draft, and you guys will have to wait and find out, but I would bet that he's one of the more active owners.
Congratulations, Andrea.
And Richie is definitely very active with the team. And speaking of the California Black Bears, they've won 3 of the 4 events that have taken place in Major League Pickleball.
Yeah, they are really creating a dynasty for themselves. They're going to be tough to beat, especially with Andrea on the team. Who knows? Maybe they can do it again.
And remember, this is a team that fought for Andrea. They actually traded to be able to get that 10th spot and pick up Andrea.
Yeah, Riley Newman and Andrea were switching places there, and part of it was because Riley will be away for that first one, but Andrea Koop is a phenomenal player, really an asset.
Well, and she comes from an incredible tennis background, right? Also an NCAA champion with the UCLA Bruins. I mean, we've seen so much happen from tennis now into pickleball. There is a huge surge of tennis players coming in and really taking some names right off the top of them.
Yeah, for me, I'd love to see like a 5, 10 and under league just so I can get back in the game. But it is phenomenal to see all these new players coming in. And it gives us a lot of reason to pause and just think how is this game going to look in 2024, 25? Who's going to come in next? It's amazing.
Well, who's going to come in next in this draft? Our 11th pick is up right now.
With the 11th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, the Milwaukee Mashers select Clijsters Smith from Orem, Utah.
The Milwaukee Mashers select Clijsters Smith, and this is a dynamic athlete. You have to love the energy, the power, and the energy that comes from Clijsters Smith.
Oh, for sure. She is the epitome of hard work. If you look at those guns, the kind of workouts she does, she has this Wednesday workout. I've tried one. I cried. Couldn't do it. The energy she puts on the court, that first step, and the never not ready attitude. You'll see her on the court, her paddle will always be up, and her hand speed because of it is really unparalleled, I think.
Fitness is her best friend, and it shows up in her game. You can see with her ranking right there in terms of the Duper Power Ranking, the women's number 3 overall at 6.0. Just a fantastic athlete and also a fantastic mom. She brings those kiddos with her just about everywhere she goes, and we've got Hannah now standing by.
Well, Clijsters Smith, the woman with the Rapunzel hair and the big-ass backhand. Clijsters Smith, talk about how you're feeling going into MLP and the excitement that you feel right now.
Let me just say, as I was waiting for a call, my heart was racing. I had butterflies in my stomach. I was sitting at the table with my family, and we got that call, and I was like, yes, I'm so excited. Milwaukee Mashers, here we come. We're going to dominate an MLP. No offense to all of you guys. Everyone else, just watch out. We're coming for you.
Well, Clijsters Smith, you travel around with your family, your husband Kyle, your kids Camber and Stockton. Are they going to be at all of these events next year?
Not all of them, but I wish they could be at all of them. They are my biggest fans, my biggest cheerleaders, and I love them very much and excited when I do get to be with them and travel with them. But even more, I wouldn't be able to do this without them. So thank you. I love you guys. You're the best ever.
Congratulations, Callie.
So Clijsters Smith coming in at the number 11 spot. We talked about the backhand. I mean, how deadly is it?
It's as good as they get, really. I mean, I don't know if Milwaukee will ever see a better backhand than what Clijsters Smith is going to bring to the table. It's not just that, the firepower and the intensity. You know, we talk about that as a weapon. It's often underrated, but what she brings in that department really can change the landscape. She's able to play left side and right side, but her big superpower, so to speak, and if you look like that, I think you're pretty much a superhero.
That's fair, but there's also a sense of maturity that comes from Clijsters Smith when she steps on the pickleball court as well. There's a foundation and a steadiness about her. I mean, you see the players that are fiery and hot and emotional, and that's their superpower, but for Callie, she's got both edges of the sword.
She really does, and I think the beauty of it for anyone playing with her is you know what you're going to get. You're going to get rock solid performance. You're going to get someone down the stretch who doesn't blink, who is good under pressure. And that is worth its weight in gold.
Well, worth the weight in gold. Well, we're even waiting to get to the final pick of the first round. Number 12 is happening now.
With the 12th pick in the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft, Frisco Clean Cause selects Zane Navratil from Austin, Texas.
Frisco Clean Cause takes Zane Navratil. He has quite a bit of experience playing in the MLP, and he brings a lot of that. A lot of yelling, a lot of spin, and a whole lot of energy.
Yeah, and he's another one of those complete players in that his singles game is as good, if not better, than his mixed and his men's. He is so quick around the court. I'm not sure there's anyone faster. He's also an incredibly nice guy, so as a teammate, I think he's going to be a pleasure to be around, and what he brings to the court, so much firepower, very quick hands, moves all over, and I think he has the ability, when need be, to take 80-90% of the court.
Well, and he's also a 3-time MLP champ, so tons of experience on his side. Let's hear what he has to say.
That's right, Zane Navratil, the only player in the top 12 who has multiple MLP wins under his belt. How much confidence does that give you moving into 2023?
I'm just going to try and enjoy it again, and it's nice to have that experience, that's for sure. To have been there a couple of different times and know a little bit about the draft, all that type of stuff. It's more fun than anything I play. So,
what are some of the skills that you think you specifically can bring to the team in 2023?
Just energy. Again, this sport's about quick bursts of energy, especially in the MLP format, and I think I'm decent enough at that. I bring some decent tactics and whatnot too, and yeah, that's all I got.
Congratulations, Zane. We'll watch you compete in 2023.
Well, the first question I have is, where did he get that shirt? Because that thing is phenomenal. Zane, you win the wardrobe of the night. I don't know if I get to give it out, but I am, so why not? But Zane Navratil, you already mentioned the kindness and the experience that he brings, but can you maybe decipher some of the shots that really impress you when you're talking about Zane Navratil?
Yeah, one of the big things is how well he can move around his backhand when need be. He quickly moves from the middle of the court, where he's a fantastic protector of the middle, and when he gets a floating ball, he doesn't need to just attack off the backhand. He can move around, play inside out, cross-court rolling dinks. There's really no weakness in his game. He's got a big two-handed backhand. It does take a long swing for him to hit it quite as hard as some of the other players. That's the only thing I'm concerned about with Zane. But if I'm looking at him right, I think he's been working out.
I don't know. He's quick as a whip, which serves him very well. But coming up after the break, we're going to get a chance to catch up with some of those celebrity team owners. Stick with us. Here is a look at the 12 picks in round number 1 of this year's 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft presented by Margaritaville. We just closed out with Andrea Koop, Callie Smith, and Zane Navratil, but some top-tier performers in these first 12 picks. Now, I mentioned that we had a chance to have some celebrity owners and a few messages shared from them. I believe Gary V of the New Jersey Fives has something to say.
I have so much confidence that, by the way, let's just do it. Like all the owners out there, like LeBron, Brady, Lazary, like Blake, Draymond, Danny Silver, like all these characters. Like if somebody wants to do a significant side bet, Drew Brees, I'm not scared. Like we're going to win this league this year. Put it down. The Fives are the champs.
I love it. He's already talking trash. We haven't even started the year. It's so fun. And of course, joining him was Ryan Harwood, their manager for the New Jersey Fives. But it's time that we meet the rest of this team. What do you think, Maureen? You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, so we found the first round, all 12 of those pick, but here is the rest of the New Jersey Fives. James Ignatowicz coming in, as well as Leah Jansen, and then closing out is Hayden Patriquin. This is a dangerous team.
Incredibly dangerous. I spoke to James earlier on today, actually, and he could not be more excited. He's hoping to be able to play with Annalie Waters. He has played quite a lot with Leah Jansen, and that team could really work well. If they do that, it is going to leave Hayden Patriquin, the young man, 16 years old. He would be playing then with Annalie Waters. How will the 15 and 16-year-old go together? That could be very, very interesting.
Well, Annalie will be turning 16 in January, so maybe that gives her, another month of help. Why not? But let's take a look at the Seattle Pioneers and who closes out their roster. You got Etta Wright, Megan Sheehan-Dazan, as well as Tyler Loom.
Yeah, obviously with Ben Johns at the helm, you can almost do no wrong. I'd love to see him partnering up with Etta Wright. She is relatively new to the game, but has already proven herself to be able to medal in either tour. I think Megan Dazan, I think she's going to be the X factor. Her power game has come along so well, while Tyler Loom, the king of the Ernies, will round out this team.
Etta Wright is so fun to watch and newer to the professional pickleball ranks. Again, this is a look at the Seattle Pioneers as we move on now to the ATX pickleballers. JW Johnson and then, Jackie and Jade Kawamoto are on the same team. And then closing it out, Gabriel Tardio.
Yeah, Gabriel Tardio, another one of the young guns, only 16 years old, but he is really doing well on the tour. Jackie and Jade, they will combine beautifully. They have done ever since they've started playing on tour. Such a good, unique twin team. JW Johnson, I'd love to see him playing with Gabriel, really showing him the ropes.
Well, and everyone's really going to be eyeing that Jackie and Jade combo because they have so much experience playing together. And speaking of experience playing together, well, there's also some big-time players in terms of celebrity owners with the next group. How about Kevin Love, Draymond Green, LeBron James, and also Maverick Carter. The New York Hustlers have a pretty severe and intense group. Let's take a look at this. Tyson McGuffin paired with Anna Bright, Rafa Hewitt, and then Lacey Schneeman. I mean, is there going to be like fireworks and like whistles with this team? Because there's just going to be noise.
Yeah, I think this entire team was born caffeinated, honestly. Tyson McGuffin, he has played with Rafa Hewitt before. They've actually lived together. I think they're fans and they really work well. Rafa Hewitt, the big left-hander, he's going to partner well with anybody. He brings so much intensity, so much power, and we've seen already the highlight reels of Anna Bright really trying to change the game. Lacey Schneeman has really made a name for herself as a team player and really saved the bacon earlier on this year.
Yeah, Lacey coming in as an alternative back in Newport for the Black Bears, and I've played against her a few times. She has an incredible wrist, very tricky when you have to face off against her. So she's going to have some fun with Anna Bright, Tyson McGuffin, Rafa Hewitt, and then of course Lacey Schneeman. Here's a look at the Los Angeles Mad Drops. This is Drew Brees' team. You got Catherine Parento, Irina Tereshchenko, one of the all-time legends, along with some firepower, Julian Arnold and Thomas Wilson, who just continues to get better.
Oh yes, certainly. For me, Julian Arnold is one of, if not the most improved men's players in the game. Irina Tereshchenko, obviously the veteran alongside Catherine Parento. What stands out to me, though, with this team is it is, I think, the most well-rounded team. There are no weaknesses here. I think every person can play every side of the court and do it incredibly well.
Well, and I know we aren't the only ones fired up about this team. Drew himself is also fired up. Take a look.
What's up, everybody? Drew Brees here, representing the Los Angeles Mad Drops Pickleball Club. I know I represent our entire ownership group when I say how excited we are about the 2023 MLP season about to begin. Excited to announce our draft class here too. Irina, Catherine, Thomas, Julian, the rest of you guys are in trouble. That's all I gotta say. Andiamo, baby. Here we come. 2023 is ours. Let's go.
Andiamo, because Julian Arnold is on that team. But here's a look now at the SoCal Hard Eights. You got Riley Newman, AJ Kohler, Mary Brasha, as well as Lindsay Newman. Brother and sister on the same team.
They are incredibly hard to beat. Collectively, the best defensive mixed doubles team in the game. AJ Kohler has the quickest hands you have ever seen, a snake bite they call it. And Mary Brasha, a lot of people go around the back. She goes one step further, around the head. It is arguably, I think, the greatest shot that's ever been played in pickleball. If you haven't seen it, YouTube Mary Brasha around the head.
Yeah, it's called the merry-go-round. Great advertising marketing on that call there from the shot. But let's move on. Here is a look now at Riley Newman. Again, he came in at that number 6 spot. And I mean, we love the fact that we've seen not only Jackie and Jade get to play alongside one another, but Riley Newman alongside Lindsay Newman as well.
There is a real synergy to their games. They know exactly where they're going to be. Reminds me a little bit of the Waters when they're really in unison. It's beautiful to watch. They fill the gaps and they've got so much power and their defense is impregnable.
Well, we cannot wait to see what is coming in terms of the rest of this weekend and also the rest of these teams. But let's take a look and see what we have to offer because, yep, there's some new team owners just around the corner in that challenger level. I think we're going to get a chance to catch up with a few. And speaking of some great pickleball, well, hell, we've got a really fantastic weekend as well. The PPA Bubbly Team Championships also taking place on Tennis Channel. That's going to be live Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, it's also going to be on ABC. You can join us and have some fun on Sunday morning. Well, we have still a few teams to announce here for the 2023 Major League Pickleball Draft. Welcome back to Tennis Channel, and here is just another glimpse at the 2023 Major League Pickleball and exactly how it works. 12 teams, each in the Premier as well as Challenger levels. We also have 2 men and 2 women on each team. 2 seasons will take place just in this year alone. 3 events in each of them with a championship at the butt end. We will also redraft in July, so team owners and all the players could potentially end up in a new position. $5 million at stake in this year's season. More prize money, more players, more events. We've gone through it multiple times, but there's also the Premier and Challenger level. The draft for the Challenger level is just a week away. I mean, how much excitement can be drawn from that Challenger level? Because to me, every match matters.
It really does. And, you know, a lot of players here, you might think from home, well, there's this guy I saw, he looks amazing. Well, he may not make it in the first round of the Premier level, but there's a very good chance he'll be at that Challenger level, and there's another 48 players there knocking on the door of the Premier level, and after the 2023 seasons are done, we will have that relegation system, and that just adds so much excitement, much like the Premier League soccer in England.
Yes, that's exactly right. So it's been modeled after that. So there's going to be a switch between the 12 owners in the Premier level, switching to the Challenger level in season 2 of this year. It's really the most equitable way to really go about trying to find who will be in the Premier level in 2024.
Yep, equitable and exciting.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have the best seat in the house once again.
Well, we will also get to find out who new 12 owners will be in the Challenger level. Well, we won't announce that today. It's just a little bit of a tease, but we have some fun because Hannah Johns is also standing by with one of our new owners.
Well, Prakash, you're one of our latest announced team owners. Tell me, why pickleball? Why now?
Well, listen, anyone that you talk to in any walk of life right now, all they're talking about is pickleball. It's the #1 fastest growing sport. And my personal favorite thing about pickleball is it's men and women. I'm hoping to see some dream breakers out there, maybe get some men playing against some women in singles, doubles. I'm all for it.
Well, officially, your other team owners for your team haven't been announced, but can you tell us any secrets, any hints?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It's a very impressive roster, and if Steve decides to ever put on an all-star celebrity owners tournament, I'm backing our team, putting all my dollars, my rupees, my euros, my Bitcoin, everything I got on our team. It's an impressive team. I cannot wait for you guys to see it on Monday, Tuesday next week.
Well, Prakash, I actually heard a rumor that you're going to be lacing up your pickleball shoes and stepping on court. Is that true?
Listen, during my tennis days, I was able to move a little bit better. I was built for go. Now I'm just built for show. So I'll probably just be watching, but I can't wait to get out there. It's one of my most fun things to do these days.
Well, congratulations. Can't wait to get the reveal of those owners and your players.
Thanks so much. Can't wait, and love all the nicknames that you're giving to all the players. We saw some great athletes. Can't wait to follow them all season.
Thank you.
Prakash Amatraj, a new owner in MLP for 2023 on that Challenger side. We don't know maybe who else is on his team, but you know, there have been some big names announced just even in the last week in terms of who will be around MLP.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a couple of players, I think, some would say Wes Burrows, Susanna Barr perhaps, maybe Sarah Ansbury. A couple of players I'm hoping to see in that Challenger level really coming up through the ranks.
Well, we have still a few teams to cover in the Premier level. Let's take a look at our next team up, Cabo Vamos. Jay DeVilliers, by the way, you got to say it that way every time. Vamos, you got to have some gruff to it. Alongside Simone Jardim, the GOAT on the women's side, and then, of course, Elise Jones, as well as Eric Lang. What makes this team unique?
Well, I think, as you said, the GOAT of women's pickleball. She has been so successful over the years. Really, the first queen we had, Simone Jajim, she's going to add such a leadership model to this team. And I think Elise Jones, she became a fan favorite almost overnight. Her commitment to the sport, her commitment to every single shot, her ability to dive around the court is just phenomenal.
Well, and she's a former volleyball player, so I got to give her a little extra love because she literally dives around the court on cement. I mean, she's a true force to be reckoned with. They call her Mighty Mouse, and for a good reason. But here is a look now at Florida Smash. We said Jessie Irvin in that top spot, but then there's also Georgia Johnson, the sister to none other than JW. Then you have Travis Rettenmeyer, who's also the owner of Florida Smash, as well as Colin Johns, a brother to Ben and Hannah.
Yeah, and we've talked about Jessie and what she brings to the table. Georgia Johnson, for my money, is the most improved female player in 2022. And if 2023 is anything like this year, then she could be really knocking on that door for Annalie Waters. Colin Johns has the book on everybody. Literally, he has a book where the crib sheet on how to beat every player out there. So I think he is going to complement Travis Rettenmeyer as well in that leadership role.
Well, I'm excited to see Colin play alongside Travis just in terms of firepower and some calming energy between the two. They could be really a solid duo. Now let's take a look. This is the Las Vegas Night Owls. We already mentioned Vivian David. There is Deckel Barr. That could be dangerous. They have trained together for some time now. Lauren Stratman as well as Kyle Yates, who's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah, Kyle Yates, he was the GOAT before there was Ben. Just ask him. Vivian David and Deckel Barr, they have combined incredibly well before. They know each other's games. They live close by. Lauren Stratman brings real heat, and I think she can combine beautifully with Vivian to do some real damage.
Well, I'm very excited to see all of these combinations now take place, and this is what makes MLP so fun, right? For so long, we see these partnerships. Maybe they change from tournament to tournament, but usually they're playing sets of tournaments or a full season together. MLP, you're seeing different teams paired together constantly.
Yeah, look, what started as potentially an experiment has really worked out, has paid off. And I think the players are starting to understand that when they partner with new people, they get better. They have to learn new shots. They have to adapt to survive.
Adapt to survive in the MLP. But take a look. This is the party taking place. There's Connor Pardo right there of the PPA. Also AJ Kohler in that lower left-hand screen. And then none other than the founder, Steve Kuhn, right in the middle of all the action. We're so grateful. There's the cheers from Steve. We're so grateful for all that he has done for the sport along with Major League Pickleball, providing such a fantastic home for these athletes. And I know that we've got a few more teams to go, but already, what are some teams that maybe stick out as potentially a top tier for you?
Well,
who are you putting your money on?
Honestly, it's going to be a little hard to go past the New Jersey Fives. Annalie Waters has proven that she is the difference maker in so many matches with so many different partners. My money's kind of on them.
Well, we'll see if that takes place because we still have some teams we still need to meet. So who do we have dialed up next? I believe it is the California Black Bears. They took Andrea Koop at that number 10 spot. And then up next, and this is why they did it, Dylan Frazier. Fantastic hands from the number 10 spot for the men. And then Federico Staksrud, another fantastic singles player. And then yet another sibling duo. We have Maggie Brasha, the sister to Mary.
Yeah, for sure. Dylan Frazier here, for me, is the X factor. He possesses hand speed like nobody's business. He spins the paddle 47,000 times before he hits any shot. However, he's largely unattackable. Federico Staksrud is new to the sport, but he's one of those players I think this promotion into Major League Pickleball is going to ignite him. He is going to be putting in extra effort to see where his game goes, and it's going to be huge.
Well, so many people talked about what he did back in Columbus at Major League Pickleball and how steady of a force he was for his team. And somebody else that's been a steady force in the world of tennis is next up because he's the team owner of the Milwaukee Mashers. James Blake, the former number 4 on the ATP. I think we've got some messages as you take a look at his team. Callie Smith, Lucy Kovalova, Andre Daescu, and DJ Young.
Andre Daescu.
Hey everybody, James Blake here, co-owner of the Milwaukee Mashers with Mark Lasry. who also happens to be the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. And now he's been telling me for the last few years how great it was to win a championship in the city of Milwaukee, and I want to join him. I think we got the team this year to do it with the 2023 MLP season coming up soon. I'm looking forward to competing with Callie, Lucy, Andre, and DJ. I think that's a team that's going to get me to be a championship owner just like Mark Lasry. Congratulations, guys, on all your commitment to the MLP. Congratulations on being drafted, and good luck this year.
Again, here's a look at the Milwaukee Mashers. Callie Smith atop the list, then Lucy Kovalova, a partnership that we have seen time and time again. I mean, they're going to be hard to beat as a women's duo.
For sure. They have been at top of the leaderboard for much of 2022. And then we've got Andre Daescu. He is a man who can take over a game. 6'4", the tall Romanian. DJ Young will be playing alongside him, and he is a maestro. He can change the dynamic. He has such a loose wrist. I think one of, if not the most powerful player, up with James Ignatowicz, I think, in the sport today. So that's going to be a team to beat.
Well, that's 11 total teams. We've got one more to take a look at, the number 12 team. How about Frisco Clean Cause and their roster? Zane Navratil atop the list, alongside Matt Wright, Yana Grechkina, and Lena Padigamaite.
Yes, Lena, she is the Lithuanian Wonder Woman. Yana Grechkina, I think, outside of Georgia Johnson, she is, again, one of those most improved players, and the sky is the limit to see where they can go. We've talked about Matt Wright so many times in every PPA event, especially. He is huge. He has been able to defeat Father Time again and again. One of the most experienced players, but a real force.
So we have a full slate now. All 12 teams have been picked. Their rosters are full. Let's take a look, though, and see what those top 12 were. Yet again, that first round had some deadly forces, and here is where they'll show up. Season 1 to Season 2. These are the total events that will take place in 2023. So you'll have Annalie Waters, Ben Johns, all the way down, Zane Navratil, closing out with none other than Frisco Clean Cause. I can't wait to see those championships on June 19th as well as December 11th.
Yeah, for me, the Rancho San Clemente one. I just love that venue. It's so close to me. I can't wait to get there. La Quinta, California, that's my hometown, so I'll be there for sure. Hope to see you there.
Well, we have had so much fun with you tonight. What a great start for Major League Pickleball in Las Vegas as we look forward to the upcoming MLP events in 2023. Thanks to Hannah Johns and everyone's hard work in Las Vegas. And thanks as well to our crew here in Santa Monica. And congratulations to the first 12 picks in this year's draft. We're so thrilled to have you. And again, thanks for joining us. For Morgan Evans, myself, Cameron Irwin, have a great night.